In cinema, a wedding gown is never just a dress. It's a story stitched in silk, a dream, a deception, sometimes even a disguise. Each gown tells us how Hollywood saw love, beauty, and a woman's destiny. These are not just costumes, they're time capsules of emotion, fashion, and power. Let's step inside the frame and rediscover 3 unforgettable wedding gowns that define their eras. 1. Old Maid, 1939, the dresses of duty and desire. Sometimes, the most beautiful wedding gowns in old Hollywood weren't about love at all. They were about what love cost. In The Old Maid, 1939, costume designer Orry-Kelly didn't just create dresses. He built emotional armor for 2 women trapped by society and jealousy. Miriam Hopkins, as the bride, wears a gown that's almost too perfect. A silk corset bodice, lace bolero, puffed sleeves trimmed with tiny flowers, and a veil that circles her head like a halo. It's beautiful, yes, but it's also suffocating. That gown screams duty. A woman marrying for money, not love. Every ruffle and pleat feels like a cage wrapped in lace. Then comes Bette Davis. Her dress in cream satin is quieter, but far more tragic. A high neckline, long sleeves, pleated bib front. Everything about it feels restrained, closed off. She's the one who truly loved, yet she must hide it behind propriety. Even her veil, like a Spanish mantilla, hangs heavy as if it mourns what could never be. Orry-Kelly's genius was that he made these gowns tell the story that the script could only hint at. Hopkins dressed for the world's approval, Davis dressed for the heartbreak it would never understand. By the end, The Old Maid isn't just a story of women and war. It's a visual essay on how costume can carry pain, because sometimes the most elegant wedding dress on screen is really a portrait of everything a woman had to sacrifice. Funny Girl, 1968. The satirical bridal gown, Barbra Streisand. Hollywood loves to dress fantasy, and sometimes it dresses satire in Funny Girl, 1968. Irene Sharaff gave Barbra Streisand a wedding gown that looks at first like a fairy tale bride, and then quietly pulls the rug out from under the fantasy. His love makes me beautiful. The set is pastel, the chorus is picture perfect, and Streisand is framed as the ideal bride. Satin skirt, long flowing veil, and a garland of tiny ivory blossoms tracing the neckline like a living crown. The bridesmaids in soft pink behind her make the image almost saccharine. But then the joke lands. The gown's exaggerated pregnant silhouette, a prop, turns the whole vision into comedy. It's not crude, it's clever. Sharaff didn't simply make a pretty dress for laughs. She built a costume that could read 2 ways at once, sumptuous and believable up close, absurd and revealing in context. That double voice is the genius of the design. Look at the workmanship, the lace overlays, the satin sheen, the small floral cluster at the shoulders, all traits of a couture bridal look, yet every detail serves the scene's punchline. The societal ideal of perfect marriage becomes stage theater, a manufactured image to be performed and mocked. Visually and thematically, the gown does heavy lifting. It shows how Fanny Brice's fantasies of romance and fame are constructed, beautiful in public, staged in private. Irene Sharaff's craftsmanship lets the costume read as authentic period glamour, which makes the satire even sharper. The audience believes the fairy tale long enough for the laughter to sting. So this dress isn't just a prop or a joke. It's a costume that tells us who Fanny wants to be, what the public expects of her, and how easily artifice can be dressed up as devotion in a movie about illusion. The bridal gown becomes the perfect mirror. Across decades of cinema, the wedding gown remained a mirror.